so welcome back to my channel. It's me, Kagam. Today we're going to talk about Bulgari, but really quickly, some of you might be like, are you sick or something because you sound bunged up? A few days ago, we went to this like church event and it was outside, and I think I just got like a little cold, but honestly, I feel fine. And my husband's like, are you filming today? Because you sound terrible. And I'm like, I'm filming, okay, because I feel fine. So don't worry about me. Let's get into Bulgari. Please make sure you're subscribed, and here we go. On Bulgari's website, just looking at the B01 collection. That's my favorite collection from them. And then I kind of stumbled across this page where they say that you can pay in installments using Klarna. For those of you who don't know Klarna is this like Swedish startup, and it allows you to buy now and pay later. It's really, really famous. Lots of fast fashion brands use it, and there are lots of other competitors as well. Those of you from Australia probably know Afterpay. That's like another competitor. So basically, this is how it works. You go on Bulgari's website, okay, you choose your product that you want to buy. It has to be over $4,000, which I thought was interesting. And then you basically are able to, pay it off in interest-free installments, and it's like across 4 payments. And basically you make the payments like every 2 weeks on when it pertains to Bulgari. I was so intrigued by this. So I went on Klarna's website because I was just like, wow, how did they get Bulgari? That's a massive win for them. And it turns out they also have Bvlgari as well. And by the way, I went on Bvlgari's website when I was reading about this through Klarna. I think they also have a collab now with Julia Roitfeld, which is interesting. Thoughts on that? Anyway, now let's go back to Bulgari. So when I was reading about this, I was just like, I can't believe that Bulgari have done something like this. But then at the same time, I was like, I can, because Bulgari is quite edgy when it comes to their commercial strategy. They were one of the first houses to jump into hospitality when that was a massive risk, okay? And there was like every chance that their hotels could flop, sweetheart, okay? But they didn't, and they did super well. And now lots of luxury brands are trying to do the hospitality thing. They've always kind of marched to the beat of their own drum. When a lot of luxury brands were like, thumbing up their noses at influencers and bloggers, Bulgari was happily working with a lot of YouTubers, Instagrammers, and bloggers. And Bulgari is known in the marketing industry for paying very well, and they pay influencers very well. So they've always kind of done their own thing when it comes to like the commercial part of their business, which I've always liked that about them. So, but I also do think that this was quite shocking, because in one of my older videos, we talked about how Gucci were doing installment plans, and a lot of you were like, Gucci's trying to reach younger people. But with Bulgari, I don't necessarily think this is the case. When it comes to Bulgari, I think they're trying to do 2 things. I think first of all, they're actually trying to reach people who are very financially liquid, but are doing a lot with their money on a month-to-month basis. I know a lot of people like this in my personal life. And you guys probably do as well. So let me give you an example. If you're someone who plays in the stock market like every day, every week, or you trade stocks and shares, you play with cryptocurrencies and things like that, you have access to a lot of funds on a sort of weekly basis. So your financial situation can change. You could have lots of money one week, you could have lost quite a bit another week, and then you could have a lot of money another week. So this whole thing of paying every 2 weeks for a Bulgari item, it's not that difficult for people who are very financially liquid. You might be someone who has a fantastically well-paid job, and you might decide, well, let me just pay in installments and use this money to buy something else, because you know that you can make the payment. When I was younger, my mom used to always give us her financial rules to organizing your stuff. And of course she was right. One of my favorite things that she always used to tell us, like me and my siblings, is, whatever you do when you're older, make sure that you pay your rent, okay? Because you can't borrow a roof. You can't borrow a door, but you can borrow some sugar from your neighbor. Okay, you can borrow your neighbor's car, okay, but you can't borrow a roof. And it's so true. So I feel like those old financial rules about like only buying things if you can afford to make the full payment are true. But I do also think that we do live in a sort of digital technological age at the moment, and there are lots of people who are making their entire living online. My business is a digital marketing business, and we work with clients all around the world. I do think it's feasible for some people whose incomes are so high on a month-to-month basis to be like, let me buy this Bulgari bracelet, but I'm not going to pay the whole thing. Let me just pay in installments because, hey, I'm going to be buying this or I'm going to be buying this. Another thing, I don't feel like there's a stigma at all when it comes to like buying Hermes or Chanel or Vuitton at resale. I'm in tons of Facebook groups. I've seen so many people, who are like, hey, I'm selling my Birkin, I'm selling my Kelly. I'm happy to do a payment plan. And that's completely the norm. Like, I feel like if you're selling a bag and you don't want to do a payment plan, like people on Facebook are like, what's her problem? Like, why is she not offering a payment plan? And I have no problem with that at all. And in my previous video, I talked to you guys about the Kelly Pochette. I would be into the idea of like putting down some money first and doing a layaway because you're a human being. You're allowed to change your mind. And that doesn't mean that you're broke or you don't have money or that you're stupid. You're allowed to put some money down and say, hey, I'll go pay that later, as long as you have the funds. The only place where I feel like this could be dangerous is if you're not good at managing your money and you like luxury. I will always pay for things in cash up front because that's just the way I was raised. But I also think that you need to be really careful if you're someone who is, you love to spend money. I know because I'm a very spendy person, so I'm very careful with like the way I make purchases and I think things through. I feel like if you're someone who loves to spend money but you're not good at budgeting, this will be literally the kiss of death, okay? This is like, you remember when Buffy and Sarah Michelle Gellar is like going to the Hellmouth and she's trying to fight things at the Hellmouth? I mean, this could be an absolute financial nightmare. I think that this is for people who are financially liquid, who can budget and manage accordingly, or you're someone who earns a big income per month that's guaranteed. You've got savings. What if you lose your job? Oh, it doesn't matter. I can still buy my Bulgari item, or I can do a return or get a refund. If you're someone who, you've inherited money, you probably don't need a service like this. But I think services like this are more just about consumer choice and allowing people the choice to do things. There is no doubt that them having Klarna on their website, they're going to reach so many young people. These iconic older jewelry brands like Bulgari, Cartier, Van Cleef & Arpels, they really do want to reach young people. Reaching young people is very important for the future of their business. And this is a great way for them to access young people who are obviously from, affluent backgrounds or wealthy backgrounds. It's really interesting to me. I personally just can't wrap my head around like buying something in installments online, but I think that's just more about the fact that I do live in Tanzania. So for me, I'm going to pay for the whole thing anyway up front. Whereas maybe if I was back in Europe or the UK, maybe I'd feel more comfortable with buying in installments. Like I said, I really feel like this is just more about financial knowledge, and your finances need to be on point if you're going to be using these services, because you don't want to get yourself in trouble, start missing payments, and then start feeling super, super stressed about your life. I definitely feel like, Bulgari using installment payments is for people who are very liquid and very affluent, but maybe want to use their money doing other things, buying stocks, buying shares, playing with cryptocurrency, doing all kinds of things. Maybe you have other projects you're doing. Maybe you're also doing e-commerce and you're selling things online. You're doing lots of other things, and your money can be used to do other things, and then you can make that payment in 2 weeks. There are many people whose finances change every 14 days because they're doing business or they're consultants or they earn a lot of money. I'd really like to know what you think about this. I have to say I was quite surprised, but I wasn't surprised at Bulgari's commercial strategy. They've always been rebels. They're kind of like, to me, they're kind of like the James Dean of these fine jewelry houses when it comes to business. They really do like to do things their own way, and you have to salute that. And what I like about Bulgari is when it comes to like the commercial strategy, they're so experimental. They try new things. If this thing isn't going to work, it's going to disappear from their website. It's that simple. So many beautiful things on Bulgari's website, so I want to show you some of my favorite pieces. But first, let me just tell you something. Don't be shocked about. I don't like the Serpenti line. I know everyone loves this line from Bulgari. I really don't like this line, so I will not be featuring them. Let me show you some pieces from my favorite line, which is the B01 line. I absolutely love this ring. I think it's so beautiful, so gorgeous. It's very expensive, and I think it's absolutely stunning. I think I've said this before, but like I wouldn't wear a ring on my left hand where my wedding set is, because I I like that hand to be like free basically, so you can just see my wedding set. But I think for my right hand, absolutely, it's a ring that would go here. I think it's just really glamorous and vibrant. My taste in jewelry is always going to be more flamboyant. You know, if you had to make me choose between Van Cleef& Arpels and Bulgari, I would choose Bulgari in a minute. I just love how their jewelry really stands out. OMG, this watch from Bulgari is one of the most exciting things that I've seen in a while. I actually saw this about 2 weeks ago. I was also just on their website looking. Absolutely gorgeous. I think it's 29,000 US dollars in the US. The strap is like this like taupe alligator leather. Absolutely gorgeous. It's really beautiful. I think that this piece, when you look at it, it can have this kind of like cartoony look, okay? Because I showed this watch to a friend because I loved it so much, and she was like, it looks like a 5-year-old has assembled it. I was like, stop. It is that detailed that it almost looks a little bit cartoonish, I think, here in the photos, but I'm sure if you saw this bad chick in the Bulgari boutique, it's going to look absolutely breathtaking. And I think Bulgari are doing well with their jewelry. I mean, I think just like last week, they have opened a boutique in Place Vendôme with a very like famous architect. I think he's called Peter Marino. I think he's the one who's like designed their new boutique there. You know, they're making it rain. Things are going very well for them. So obviously these pieces are selling. This is very expensive, and I know that some of you be like, you should just get a Rolex, get a Patek or whatever. For me, fashion watches are fabulous, and I don't really care what anyone has to say. I'm not a watch snob. I like things that I like how they look. My favorite like fashion watch is probably the Cartier Panther de Cartier. That's like one of my grail pieces, but I do think this is beautiful. Those of you who are minimalists and into black, white, and neutrals, I think this watch would look fantastic with a very neutral color palette, or black or white or gray. I also think, depending on your style, if you're very flamboyant, this would also look amazing. I just love this watch. I think it's one of those you either love it or hate it. I love the way the jewels have just been sitting around the face of the watch, and they just look like they've literally been molded on there. I just love it. I absolutely love this watch. If you're looking for something a little bit more affordable in terms of their timepieces, there's also this Bulgari lady watch. That's the best name ever. The name is so lit, they say their name twice. Bulgari lady watch. I like this. This is a steal offering. It's about $7,000 in the US for those of you in the United States. I think this is a really cute piece. That other piece I showed you is obviously super flamboyant, very vibrant. I think this is still very like, you know, Bulgari. It does stand out. You do see the logo, but it's a little bit more stripped back. It's a little bit more pulled back. You could probably wear this like on a day-to-day type of thing. I still love that other watch, but I do think this one is really nice. I'm not a massive fan of steel just personally, but I am kind of warming up to steel a little bit. I think this is also a beautiful piece. Really like to know what you guys think of the growth of the whole buy now pay later space within the luxury industry. I think it is such a fascinating thing. Like I said, I'm not against it, and it's weird. I still think there's a double standard that I don't feel weird about paying for an Hermes Kelly Pochette at resale in installments. I'd be like, I'm gonna pay for that chick in installments, sweetheart. Okay, I'll give you 2 payments for that. I don't have an issue at all. Paying in cash or installments at resale doesn't bother me. But is it weird that it bothers me, the idea of paying in installments on Bulgari's website? Is that weird? Because it doesn't bother me at all if I was buying a Birkin or a Kelly at resale and paying in installments, or if I was buying from someone on Facebook and paying in installments. That doesn't bother me at all. But for some reason, going on Bulgari's website and paying in installments bothers me. Is it because I feel like Bulgari themselves would know that I've paid in installments, and they'll be like, you know? I don't know what it is. I'd really like to know what you guys think. Please make sure you stick around, subscribe to my channel, like this video. It really helps to support me. I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Tomorrow's video is all about Chanel and their shenanigans, okay? I can't wait. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.